Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Hanny Show. So today I have another special guest, right? So I'm gonna have a couple questions for him. And so, what is your name and what do you do, man?
Name's Chad Posthumus. I'm a professional basketball player. I play with Team Canada and the Winnipeg Sea Bears.
Awesome, bro. Awesome, Chad. Okay. So before you got into all of this, what's your background and how did you get started?
So I started playing basketball when I was about 10 years old. I actually played hockey before that. So grew up playing hockey when I was younger. Played that all through high school. Then started playing basketball, really taking it serious. Probably grade 9, 10. So a little older than most people. But yeah, got it going then and then just kind of fell in love with the sport. And as I grew with that, realized that I had the potential to kind of take basketball not only with basketball, but to get me a scholarship, go to university. And then that kind of was my goal and my mindset where to take it from there. I never would have imagined that. Fast forward 15 years since the start of university, I'm still playing here, playing 10 years professionally now. Year 10 this year, actually. So yeah, it's really exciting, but yeah, no. Just goal was like my mindset was go to school, get a good education, get a degree, and then you go from there, right? So that was kind of the plan.
Yeah. Awesome, man. No, it's a great story, Chad. So talk a little bit about, people don't know that you're actually an entrepreneur. You're into business. So I want you to kind of tell people a little bit about that story.
So I got into business, I guess, probably the main part was probably during COVID, the COVID-19 pandemic. I wasn't able to play basketball. World was shut down, right? And the COVID pandemic was a big deal, right? It had a very big problem and a lot of supply shortages in personal protective equipment throughout the world, really. And then had a conversation with one person. One thing led to the next, to the next, to the next. To hey, I'm actually have some connections here based upon just me living all over the place in Canada through basketball, building my network and kind of working up from there. That I was like, you know what, I'm putting this and this and this together, and I began putting kind of deals together to help people get the masks, get different sort of equipment that they needed throughout the pandemic. And that kind of built up to the point where we were helping and facilitating even some government contracts. And I guess you could rewind a little bit, but in university I took business as well. So I got a business degree, a master's of business administration as well. And kind of utilized that plus all the connections I'd made through basketball to kind of start doing this. And then as the pandemic wore down and changed, we all adapted. So started doing some different business stuff with a couple different individuals that I had met and that were doing different things or had added into this supplying of PPE equipment throughout the pandemic there. So it's one thing led to the next and the next. And as I know, with what you sell and what you do and buy and sell, and you got the whole market unlocked now. But one thing led to the next, and I ended up started working with a good friend of mine who owns a security solutions company. So access control, video security, alarms, fire everything like that. With scan fobs where you can go into a building, all kinds of stuff with AI involved in the cameras and stuff too. A lot of really exciting stuff. But I partnered with him, and now I sell his products and his services throughout Winnipeg. Been doing really well. Yeah. Again, one thing led to the next. It's all about connections, right?
Yeah. No, that's a lot that you share, bro. 2019, I think a lot of people got into business.
Literally, had a lot of time on our hands. Yeah, everybody was like, "What am I doing with my life?" Gonna sit here and collect that CERB check and do nothing, or are you gonna make something out of it, right?
Yeah, 100%. Could you also, my next question is, you talk about the importance of building connections, especially as a basketball player, because a lot of times people think that when I'm done, things are gonna happen for me, but no, you have to go out there and get right. So talk a little bit. Why is that so important?
You got to lay a foundation, right? You can't just. Nothing's gonna be handed to you. I mean, there's certain people in life where something's handed or this or that. You got good family, good situation, but that's few and far between. If you're gonna make it anywhere, even in basketball, right? If you're gonna make it anywhere, you gotta put in the work. You gotta lay the foundation, put in the hours. in order to be successful. If I was just to show up at games and play the games, it's not gonna, like, sure, I can do well, but I'm not gonna excel. I'm not gonna do very well, do my job as good as I can. You got to put in the hours in practice, on your own, in the weight room, taking care of your body, all the little stuff that will then put that final product on the court. And business is the same way, right? You didn't start selling thousands of phones all at once, right? It was probably one on a weekend, two on a weekend, and then maybe next week it's 5, 10, right? I know it's corny, but it's like the 1% better every day, right?
Yeah, there you go.
It's big time though. But yeah, laying that foundation, just using everybody I'd met over the years, and it's like keeping a log of it. And it's like, one person does that. Okay, they do. Okay, this would maybe be a good fit. Maybe match that up here, match that up there. And it's been good so far. Obviously, everybody always wants more time in it, and it's tough to kind of balance being a professional basketball player and business. But in the off season, I get a lot more involved with the guys and out in the community, making those connections. But while I'm playing still, it's always, my first thought is just, oh, hey, nice to meet you. Chad, how you doing? Yeah, cool. Like, what else do you do? Like, what's going on? It's, just a basketball player, right? There are some people who are, but for the most part, everybody else is like, something going on that you wouldn't even know or expect, right? Everybody's got a side hustle nowadays.
Yeah, no, thank you for sharing that, Chad. I mean, I think for me is my respect came from you even more when you kind of like, you kind of reached out. Because a lot of times people at your stage, like they see somebody that's brand new starting into entrepreneurship, they won't really support. They don't, who's this guy? But you kind of like, you humbled me, reached out, you're like, yo, I like what you're doing, bro. And, I mean, you kind of stay in touch, and I'm like, okay, I gotta, at the end of the day, you're a human being just like everybody else, but for you to kind of still message, and I'm like, oh, this guy is super humble.
I appreciate that.
You know what I mean? So my next question is going to be a little bit about like, what's like in today's world, I know you're a basketball player, right? So what's more important? Is it mindset or skill set, you would say?
I think skill set will get you noticed and will take you to a certain place, and it goes for anything, right? That's the reason why Masterclass is a huge app and a huge thing that so many people use nowadays. It's because it helps you directly improve yourself and your skill set and your mindset at the same time, right? So if you come somewhere with skills and then you have the mindset and know how to use them, it's huge, right? So you're going to have that skill set. You can always be building and developing it. But if you don't know how to apply it and you don't have the, I guess you could say the mind or the will, like that's a different one too. It's like skill set, mindset, or it's like put in the work, right? It's like you gotta balance it all out, because you can't have one without the other and be successful. Again, there's few scenarios here and there where you can have it, you can have success with just one, but you definitely need the mindset to put behind your skills and to use them in the right way.
100%, bro. So I'm gonna go into like, so for yourself, I know you played overseas, in NBA a little bit. So what does it take to become successful in that area? For somebody out there who's younger, that wants to get into the Sea Bears, or get a professional basketball player or become an entrepreneur, what's one advice you would give them?
It's honestly just, it's like simple. It's like work hard. Me personally, I had no idea when I was 10 or 11 years old that I would take my career this far, even the thought in my mind, right? And it's tough to also see that without having something in front of you like we do nowadays. Literally any young kid can WNBA, Basketball Manitoba, Filipino Basketball Association. They all know who the Sea Bears are, and they play out of Canada Life where the Jets play, right? It's a big deal here in Winnipeg, and the fact that they're able to see that and have that in their mind and their goal, touch, feel sort of thing, it's like, I think it's huge for young kids, right? Whereas me, again, didn't even think of that. That was a possibility back then. There's not really many people going to see NBA games, right? And CBL, Winnipeg Sea Bears is right there with the NBA. I think we have 4 or 5 guys on our team that have some sort of NBA or NBA Summer League experience. So it's where you want to go as a basketball player. And it's that dream and that mindset that can take you there. And it's a lot easier to see now that it's in front of us here. But yeah, that mindset as a kid, it's like work hard, practice, play hard, do what you do well, and master that. You do 1, 2, 3 things well on the court, or 1, 2, 3 things well in business, and anything, right? You can focus on that and master that. You're going to be successful in what you do.
100%, man. You got to put in the work, because nothing gonna be handed to you.
No.
You know what I mean? Especially in today's world, you gotta be a go-getter. So Chad, I really appreciate you for jumping on the show, bro. And I want people to kind of like, what is your service, and you can kind of talk about that, kind of close it out, where people can find you.
For sure. So we're Avo Solutions. We sell, again, video security, access control, alarms. We work with a bunch of financial institutions, credit unions, banks, commercial spaces, industrial. The only thing we really don't do is residential houses. We do more buildings like this, like the one we're in right now here, Aikens Business Center. We actually did the access control here and the mobile stuff. I know you like it. It's easy to use. You don't need keys. You don't need anything. Your phone's your key. So a lot of cool stuff like that. You can find us avosolutions.ca, our website, or you can .com. Or you can find me on social media, find me on LinkedIn. Feel free to reach out to me. I always open new conversations, new connections, and building business, right? It's all about the community here in Winnipeg. So
yes, sir. Yeah. That's awesome. Make sure to check out his service. And this guy is he's a great businessman too. Also talk about Aikens Business Center. Because right now we're at Aikens. And tell us about how that happened.
Yeah, it was amazing, right? We part of the Assiniboine Chamber of Commerce, Avo Solutions is. So we met one of the mainstays here, Mubarak, my man, and he introduced us to kind of the building and like the concept and what this was going to be, like a community driven business center where you could pop in, pop out if you need a workspace. Really cool, like environment. Everybody's working, trying to like grind, get to that next level, make the next step. And it was great vision that he and a couple of the other owners and developers had here. And we were like, yeah, that's great. And they needed something that would allow them to get people in and out and give access to people on short-term basis, long-term basis, some permanently. And our solution, coupled with the video surveillance that products that we offer, was exactly what they needed, where people could come and go as much as little as they want. And they would have the access when they needed, how they needed it. And not only was it good for the clients, but it was good for the business center as well, being able to kind of control that and just get people in and out and get them the facilities that they needed to make themselves successful. And yeah, just having this business center here has been amazing for the community. I know it's only been a little over a year, right? And it's like space here is almost always rented out. They've expanded down the street. So yeah, it's really exciting. Good stuff here. Yeah.
No, man. Thank you so much for sharing all that, Chad, bro. And check out his service, man. It's been a game changer for me. You know what I mean? I highly recommend this stuff, man. Because it's fast, it's efficient. You can come in, right, and you can use your phone and go in and out.
Manager can send passes. Yeah, you can unlock the door remotely. All kinds of fun stuff. But it's cool. Yeah. Yeah,
it's awesome, man. So we're gonna sign off for the Hanny Show today, and also too, make sure you check out the Sea Bears, man.
Yeah, they're gonna be fun, man.
Right. So when is your next game, Chad?
We're gonna game this Saturday. It's already sold out again. Canada Life Center here in Winnipeg. I think they might have a few tickets left, but I think our next home game after that is third week of June. I think June 17th, something like that, here in Winnipeg. That'll be a really good one too. I'm not 100%, but I think we might be playing the Edmonton team from Edmonton that knocked us out of the playoffs last year. So a little payback for them. Yeah. But come check out the games, get your tickets early, and it's a vibe out there.
For sure, man. Go check out the Sea Bears, and this is my man, Chad.
My man, appreciate you, my guy.
I appreciate you, bro, and thanks for, consistently following up.
Yeah, 100%.
Always supporting,
of course, somebody
like myself who just, a young entrepreneur just trying to make it and just hustle and grind, and there
100%.
you go. So I appreciate you supporting.